It is totally possible that if you were to die in the state you're in right now, the position you're in, having accomplished the things that you have accomplished, and if we were to use one word to describe your life, that word would be unremarkable. Now, comment if you disagree, but I would argue that the vast majority of society, of us as a people in this modern day and age, could easily fit in that, under that entire word as a whole. Our lives could all identify with that word. Even me in my own position, I would see my life identifying with that word itself. I want you to think back and imagine, just remember actually. Don't even imagine, just remember because we're all doing it. Just think, even a couple minutes ago, even right now, you're sitting on your couch and you've just been scrolling. You've been on social media, you've been on YouTube, even if you're in a positive streak yesterday or a couple days ago or last week. What were you doing? Could you say that there was any mission, any invention, any adventure that was in place in the process of doing? Could you say that there was anything, any story being worth told? I again would argue that 90% of us all, honestly, 99% of us all, had nothing. And the truth is, it's not money that would get you there. It's not a fancy car. It's not a fancy mansion or penthouse in Florida. It's not a fancy vacation in Vietnam or in Bangkok or in Bali. Nothing. If you just left your home today, went for a walk, went for an adventure, met people, you could say that your life has felt somewhat more like a story. There was an adventure. Check it out. There was an adventure back in the day. Shackleton. Let me know if that name rings a bell. I'm forgetting the first name right now, but he's basically this big time adventurer, real life adventurer, and he explored Antarctica. And the job listing he posted basically was saying, "Hey, you're not going to get paid well for this, but will you have a story to tell when you get back? Will you have honor brought to your name if you survive? Even if you won't get paid well and there's a high likelihood that you don't even come home. What if?" And somehow he was able to round up a crew with such a terrible marketing strategy, and we would believe to be terrible. He rounded up a crew and they went and they experienced life. Many, I'm sure, died. I don't know a whole lot about the story. I know that um, it was intense. I don't know if they made it back, actually. I have no idea. But I know it was a story worth telling. That's what men used to live for. Men used to live for stories. Men used to live for experience. I want you to think about that. Your 9 to 5 job. Is it actually what you want to be doing? I honestly can't imagine selling my life away for someone else's dreams. I would rather die. I'd rather be in the pursuit of doing what I am doing right now and being poor for years and years and years than selling my soul to a corporation that cares very little about me. Modern day ads for jobs. They advertise Pajama Friday and things like that. And what's the appeal? They don't develop you as a character. They don't develop you as a hero in your own story. You're going to walk away from that job years and years and years from now, maybe with a retirement. You're not even guaranteed that. And all you'll have to share, the only adventures you would be able to share with your friends and your family is that you and a bunch of men got together on Friday dressed in your pajamas and did the same thing you did every single day before. I would rather be dead. And I know that's harsh to say, but that is the epitome of a unremarkable life. There's nothing more I can't talk right now. It's getting me. There's nothing more demasculating than Pajama Friday, than holding onto another man's hand while he achieves his dreams and gives you pennies to his dollar. If that's really what you seek in your life, if that's really what drives your soul, then by all means, do it. But where have we lost ourselves? When did we sell our souls? When did we give up adventure and trade it for Pajama Fridays? When? Why? How? When God created us, think about this for a second. When God created us as individuals, as beings, with divine roles and identities, let's not forget that. Let me emphasize the word identity. When He literally crafted you down to the T, down to the very pinnacle of your interests, your weaknesses, your fears, when He planted within you, in your soul, that desire, if you haven't forgot it already. When did we decide that it was better to earn minimum wage, to earn the minimum of what we have the potential to earn, doing things that are mundane and unpurposeful? The gayest thing you can do as a man is work for somebody else's dreams, provide for your family, doing things not for yourself, not for God, but for another man. That is so gay. Build a business. It's really not that hard. Chase your dream. Chase that passion. Educate yourself in all ways necessary to build up who God sent you here to become. You don't have to sell out. You don't have to sell out. You don't have to sell your soul for the system. Trust that God has made a plan for you, that He has a plan for you currently. And that if you just pray and ask Him where you need to go, what is the direction that I need to take, Lord? He will make the greatest difference in your life. He will lead you down a path of hardship and struggle and pain. But at the end of the day, is that not what we chase? Is that not what really drives purpose and joy in our lives? The pain? When I was 18 years old, I had the opportunity to leave home for 2 years. I wouldn't be able to see my family. I wouldn't be able to talk to them. I'd have very minimal contact. What would I be doing for those 2 years? I would be out teaching the gospel. I didn't know anything about the gospel. I'd never read the Bible all the way through. And actually, the funniest thing is you don't get to choose where you go. They choose for you, and you pay $10,000. Sounds like a terrible idea. And even better, you don't make a single dime the whole time. You're not even allowed to accept a couple of bucks. What do you think I did as an 18-year-old? Well, I'll tell you what I did do. I went. I packed my bags and I left for 2 years, and I didn't talk to my friends or my family. Before that, I was partying, I was drinking, I was smoking, I was driving around town with my friends, and I was having so much fun. At least that's how I felt. But the second I had this opportunity presented to me, this higher calling, this feeling has seeped into my soul, and I realized this was exactly what God wanted me to do. I met the craziest people in my entire life. I interacted with the Russian mafia members of Spokane. I interacted with Hell's Angels. I interacted with really good people, really scary people, crazy people, drug addicts, sober people. Had guns pointed at me. I witnessed all manner of things as an 18-year-old. And when I came back at the end of those 2 years, exactly at the end of those 2 years, a week before Christmas, I felt so satisfied. How one decision, one choice to suffer for 2 years. Suffer. I'm not even joking. Suffer. Imagine 18 years old, you're living in these crappy, bummy apartments with a bunch of dudes, out working more than any full-time employee you've ever met in your entire life, in the hot sun, in the rain, in the snow. I was walking there in the winters. My shoes were full of water, and guess what? I had to keep going anyways because there's a higher duty to perform. That's what men used to chase before we decided that Pajama Friday was more appealing. You need to redesign your identity. I gotta move around so I can get more light. You need to redesign your identity. Because if you don't design your life, if you don't design who you need to become, your mind it'll identify what it needs, or it'll write itself. It'll write its own story. If you don't write your own story, life will write your story for you. People will write your story for you. Haven't you had enough of listening to what everybody else wants for you? Haven't you had enough of that? The same thing over and over again. Oh, you should do this. You should do that. You should go to college. I'm not bashing college, by the way. Dang, where do I get some light? Whatever. Haven't you had enough? Have you not yet decided that I'm going to live for myself? I'm going to make the sacrifices necessary, and I'm going to live. I'm going to be my own man. I'm going to write my own story. Have you not decided that you've had enough of the same slaving away that you've been doing for the past couple of years? I'm not saying quit your job, quit your life, run away into the woods and be a nomad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying stop living your whole entire, stop giving your entire life away to your phone and to alternative sources of distraction. When God's already laid out the path, He's already given you the identity that you need. You just have to act on it. By the end of our lives, do we really want to identify with the one word saying that at the end of all things, after everything we could have accomplished, our lives ended up just being unremarkable? That we never really even truly achieved anything. And the few things that we did achieve were so spread out and long and far apart that it mattered very little. That we never became anyone to anyone. This is your call to do something. And if you don't, how could you possibly live with that? How could you live with that? My name is Gabriel Bowman. And if you guys are actually seeking to chase this life, go ahead and subscribe. I'm making plenty more videos like this. I'm going to stop editing them. I'm going to stop begging for your attention. These videos are for the people who are here to achieve and become something different. And so if you're here watching these videos, good for you. If you watched all the way through, even better. Only a few of you will make it to the end of these videos. And I guarantee you will be the ones who will take control of your lives, rewrite the narrative that has been scripted for you, and take control of your legacy, your dynasty. And if you guys are interested, I've created an app. You can check that out. Link in the bio. But I love you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.